I want to talk about some of the more fearful predictions that other psychics are getting. And this may be a little controversial. So it's really important that you use your discernment and with what I'm about to say. When you peel back all the specifics and when you go to the highest perspective on what's unfolding now on this earth and what has always unfolded on this earth, the higher truth is fear is a program. Chaos, fear, anxiety, turmoil is one of the options you can choose to live out when you incarnate on this planet because it serves many growth purposes. We come to this earth, you've heard me say it. We come to this earth to experience contrast and we learn and grow from that. But now, as we are in the midst of an ascension wave, all of us are being given the opportunity to ascend out of those fear programs and those games and those schools. So, right now, as you're going about your life and you're both looking around the world and you're paying attention to people like me on TikTok, there are so many people who are screaming at the top of their lungs about what's going wrong, what could go wrong, how bad things are going to get. And then there's people like me who say, how good can this get? I am seeing joy and expansion and potential. A lot of people, when they see this, they go into questioning who is right and who is wrong. And that's fine because there are plenty of people who are right and wrong. I've been right about lots of things and I've been wrong about a few others. So that's okay. But that's not the point. The point is not to stay in who is right and who is wrong. We need to use our discernment. Yes. Who do we trust? Who's bringing through information that we can trust? But the bigger challenge and the bigger opportunity is, are you trying to evolve out of fear? Do you want to? Did you even know that was an option? Because if you do want that, then listening to people who are screaming that the world is ending is not going to help you evolve out of that. Listening to people who have done the battle with fear and have come out victorious, they're going to help you find your way out of it too. Listening to people who are still in the paradigm of contrast, control, they have the power. Other people have the power. There is so much to be afraid. You better hunker down. You better worry about the things I'm worried about. Those people cannot help you get out of fear because they have not and are not doing the work to get out of fear. So that is also why this becomes about your personal discernment, because sometimes in life as a soul, we decide that we are going to live a life where terrible things happen. That is part of our soul's plan. We've decided we wanted that experience for our growth, for our karma, for any number of specific reasons. So I can sit here and say, the opportunity is here now for all of us to ascend out of fear. And that opportunity is here. But I don't know all of you. I don't know everybody. I don't know what your soul's path is for you. Some of you might need to descend down into it to finish out your karma, to do whatever it is you need to do. I don't know you personally. So you need to develop your discernment and your ability to listen to what your soul's truth is telling you about what is going to happen for you, what needs to happen, and the guidance you need to navigate that particular challenge. Now, the short answer of how do I know if it's right for me? If a message brings you terror and fear, the ick, if you don't like that, it is not for you. But if a message, whether positive or fearful, brings you a sense of resolution, a more calm, measured match, that is for you. And I've been using the example, I live here in a state that we've been warned about earthquakes my entire life. And so being in a state of preparedness is just the norm. All right. So if a seismologist tells me there's been a lot of activity, please prepare for an earthquake, I don't lose my damn mind and start freaking out and have a feeling of panic and dread and oh no. I have a feeling of, okay, let's make sure that our food storage is up to date, that our emergency packs are up to date. Do I have in my bug out bag, in my 72-hour kit, do I have the appropriate size clothes for my children? I can go through whatever preparation I need to go through, and it's from a space of calm resolution, not panic, not fear. If your messages, the ones that you're listening to from the outside, the ones that you're listening to from the inside, if they are inciting panic and fear, these are not wholly of the light. That is your fear. That is ricocheting around, screaming loudly for your attention. That is fear. That is not divine message. Now, you guys have heard me say for a long time that I have done my battle with fear. And especially in the year 2020, this all came to a head for me. And I heard lots of psychics who were proclaiming lots of terrible things, and it whipped me into a panic to the point that I developed my own intrusive thoughts, panic attacks, anxiety, a lot of problems. You've heard me talk about this before. So that year was my gauntlet of learning how to master my fear. And in the process of doing that, it took me the bulk of the year, many months. But in the process of doing that, I have faced pretty much everything there is left within me to fear. And I have seen it all, faced it all, and conquered it all. And I don't have fear anymore. As part of that long process, I did go through terrible things. We did have a lockdown. I did have a child who was in a terrible accident. I had to face horrible things because that was part of my path, to face my fear, to work through it, to say, oh, I did go through that awful thing, but we survived. I gained my strength. I learned a lot. I faced my fear. I conquered it. So that's why a lot of people like listening to my messages. I'm not just blowing sunshine up your ass. I am coming from a healed place where I have faced my fear, and now I know I can look at the future. I'm not looking at it from the lens of fear. So the messages I bring you are from a lens of conquering that fear, of peace. And that's why I keep talking about healing. Because healing my pains, healing my wounds, healing the trauma from this life and many others, and from my ancestry, I have now cleared anything from my system that would make me a vibrational match for fear. So the messages I'm bringing, not in fear. The way I view the world, not fearful. The way I am preparing for the future, not fearful. Because I'm done. Because I'm done with it. Now, does this mean I will never face anything terrible in my future? I don't think so. Unless Ascension, the final finished product, comes soon. I don't think so. I will probably experience stuff. But have you ever seen someone who is magnificent in a crisis? They are calm. They are ready to rock. That's a person who's ascended out of fear. That is me. I can handle any crisis. I am calm. I have the vision. I have the fortitude. I have the courage. I can get shit done. That's how we do it. I have ascended out of my fear. So keep this in mind as you interact with my messages and why I share things the way I share them. And keep it in mind as you listen to other people and what they're seeing. And just play with it. Feel this. Look into your own heart, your own mind, and how you respond to the world. And maybe let that give you information as to where you're at and what your soul is trying to help you through, to try to help you ascend out of fear, face your last hurdles, or just say, hey, guess what? You're actually done. You don't need to fear anymore. So stop being afraid and it's going to be fine. Listen to yourself and see if you can figure out where you are in your progress and what your soul is trying to help you toward. That's why I promise you that all of my messages come from a higher vibrational, positive, uplifting love phase. Not because I don't think that certain people are going to still go through shit, but that I know even that in going through shit, we can still find peace and we can still conquer and we can be calm. So I hope this helps understand both where I'm coming from and what's going on in the psychic landscape as you are traversing it now and in the future. Use your discernment. Be able to know who's bringing in information that is right for you. And I'm always here with the upbeat news. If you want to take a little browse, see what I'm after, see what I'm on about. This is the future from a healed perspective, and I am so excited for it.